Scott, I've been watching you for a while now. You're different. Now, don't let anyone tell you that you have nothing to offer. Second chances don't come around all that often. I suggest you take a really close look at it. This is your chance to earn that look in your daughter's eyes, to become the hero that she already thinks you are. It's not about saving our world. It's about saving theirs. Scott, I need you to be the Ant-Man.
Huh. One question. Is it too late to change the name?
Okay, so I like the last line of the trailer because I think it gives a glimmer of what Paul Rudd and his co-rewriter Adam McKay can potentially bring to not just this movie, but the MCU at large. And that's their distinct, self-referential, regular guy brand of humor. And speaking of regular guys, that's something that's been missing from the MCU ever since Agent Coulson left for the small screen. And so that's another reason I can get excited about not just the movie, but Ant-Man, played by Paul Rudd, going forward at large. If he's allowed to play at the MCU proper, because of course he's been left out of all the discussions to date about the future of the MCU. There also seems to be a theme here about fathers and daughters, which could be really interesting because both of our lead characters have daughters that we see in this trailer. Of course, Scott Lang's daughter, his younger daughter, and then of course Hope Van Dyne is Hank Pym's daughter. So that could be cool. But this is all like small stuff. Pun intended. And, all the teaser trailers for this teaser were, like really tiny and small. And they're like, oh, you can't see it. But surprise, there's nothing to see. I mean, damn it, Marvel, give us something to work with. The whole point of a teaser trailer is to make the audience feel, I really need to see that movie. And let's keep in mind that this aired during a pretty impressive TV movie. And so what about this trailer says, hey, I'm a movie. I am a step above in terms of ideas and production values and my budget. It looked like I was just watching a teaser trailer for another impressive Marvel movie, right? I mean, the way this is played is that you not only want to impress people and make them want to go and see your movie, but you want to have a trailer that people will watch multiple times. That's why these trailers get so many views online, because people just have them on a loop because they're so excited. But what's the reason to continually watch this trailer? They're going to have some pretty low numbers here unless people just keep watching it, trying to find something here to get excited about. That might be the one ace Marvel has up its sleeve. And this actually reminds me of the John Carter situation, also a Disney film, interestingly enough, where the director, Andrew Stanton, wasn't used to this kind of big budget filmmaking. He wasn't used to live action filmmaking and was unaware that you needed to have your really impressive shots done first so they'd be ready in time for your teaser trailer. And because Andrew Stanton didn't know this, John Carter had a horrible advertising campaign that didn't get anybody into the theater. The movie tanked, which was a shame because it was actually a pretty darn good movie. So I worry that's what's happening here, that Peyton Reed also isn't aware of this and didn't have any shots ready for this teaser trailer. We're going to go by shot in just a moment because it's one of those kinds of trailers. But in this situation, you're going to see why this trailer doesn't live up to what it's supposed to be because it can't really be analyzed shot by shot. I also want to speak very quickly, though, to something Michael Douglas says in the trailer. And he says, second chances don't come along very often. And I would agree with that. And you know what? Ant-Man itself has a second chance after Edgar Wright walked out on the project. And let's hope that this is a John Carter situation where the trailers just are very poor and the publicity is not well done, and then, maybe Marvel has such strong brand loyalty that it will overcome that. And not the case where, Peyton Reed and company have just blown it, and we can see why Marvel is already seemingly sweeping this under the rug, right? Or stepping on it. I mean, it won't be very hard to hide. It's Ant-Man. And I was concerned this was going to be kind of like Iron Man Light, because it's the same kind of scientific setup, etc. But, maybe it will just be ant-sized Iron Man. The small thing is cool, but don't get into the point where you have, as I said, small ideas, small budget, small scope. I'm just really surprised at the things they don't show in this trailer. For instance, this is a heist movie. Wouldn't know it from the teaser trailer. Ant-Man has a unique way of fighting, which isn't shown in this teaser trailer. There's just so many great things that are left unexposed. I mean, I know there wasn't a lot of action in the original Guardians of the Galaxy teaser where they were in that prison lineup, but still, it showed the humor, it showed off the entire cast, and it was much funnier than this thing. But maybe it'll be an opposite situation where I didn't like Guardians of the Galaxy and I like their advertising campaign quite a bit. Maybe this will flip around. All right, let's go shot by shot and see if we can't find something in here. All right, so we're going to start our trailer here. All right. Ooh, the anticipation. That's how I felt last night. Little did I know I was going to be really disappointed. All right, so we come in over a bridge, a very big bridge, I guess. And I think at the beginning, just a lot of shots of Paul Rudd's face. Now, this is like Lucius Fox. I mean, how many times have we seen the all-knowing person overlooking everybody, right? More shots of Paul Rudd's face right there. Then, setting up his prison background a little bit. But you know what? Let's just pause this for a second. Wouldn't it have been nice to see him in prison and really drive home the fact that he is a criminal? I think this is so fast, and unless you're aware of Scott Lang's criminal past from, being somewhat familiar with the comics, you're not really going to totally understand what's going on there. I didn't go for an emotional impact. Okay, now we've established for sure it's San Francisco. There he's driving along. I'm assuming that's him. And then, you have Michael Douglas. Let's pause here. I think it's great they're showcasing Michael Douglas so much. I thought Robert Redford, was a little bit on the sideline in Captain America the Winter Soldier, but he did a lot with what he had. But Michael Douglas looks like a major player here. And I like his voiceover in the beginning. It's almost like the trailer's like, hey, Michael Douglas's voice from such great movies as everyone he's ever made. Here's his voice again. So he's coming in here with his second chances speech. Which I said it applied to the movie. More shots of Paul Rudd's face. Although, don't you think Paul Rudd looks pretty toned. Whoever is the personal trainer for the Marvel movies, they really got Chris Pratt into shape, and it looks like they've done a nice job with Paul Rudd as well. So, okay, here's, Hank Pym working on something that isn't Ultron, clearly, as we now know. It's been hinted at for the Avengers 2. Here's his whole lab. More shots of Paul Rudd's face. Oh, here's this cute little kid, Cassie Lang. We all know what's going to happen to her. It's going to get super sad eventually if they keep making Ant-Man movies. Now here's the offices, which look like a combination between Oscorp from the Amazing Spider-Man movies, the blue light, and the Stark Industries. That looks like Tony Stark's basement. Again, a lot of Iron Man similarities here. There's Corey Stoll. That's our villain. You wouldn't know it from this trailer, but he does have, I guess, a villain-type swagger, right? More shots of Paul Rudd's face. So many close-ups in this trailer. No establishing shots, although there's one establishing shot of a child's birthday party. All right, let's continue. More Paul Rudd close-up. Okay, there's the suit. That's cool, close-up of the suit, though, again, close-up of the suit. I like this. Here's a little bit of Paul Ruddness, with the reaction, like, okay. But I think they could have hit it harder. I think they could have done a stronger job hitting that beat, that comedic beat. I think only a Paul Rudd fan who's looking for it would see it. All right, then we have a test thing done in a shower, and again, really small scope here. All right, so he's in his suit and he gets super small. It's hard to see. Okay, then he's really tiny in the bottom of the shower. Michael Pena, he is in this movie. That's great. Now, this is weird. This, I think, is supposed to be the exciting shot. With that bug coming in, a lot of quick succession. Okay, there's action. He's injured. Evangeline Lilly, I guess she's going to train him. Also, I have to say, when I see Evangeline Lilly, my first thought is, look, it's brunette Pepper Potts. I mean, I think she's even borrowing the same pantsuit, just in black. So she's here, eventually apparently doing something cool for her father. Now, here he is. Okay, now, when he's flying, let's pause this right here. when he's flying this, at first I was like, he's riding an ant. And then I was like, wait a minute, ants don't fly. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's a wasp, because of course, Janet Van Dyne, Hope Van Dyne's mother, or perhaps it'll be changed and it's Hope Van Dyne, eventually becomes the wasp. So I guess he's riding a wasp. And so my initial reaction at first is, can ants ride wasps? It's like, it's against the natural order of things. And then I'm also like, I really can't believe that I'm watching this. I can't believe that Marvel is asking me to take this seriously. You know, when we first saw that poster at Comic-Con, we were like, okay, it looks kind of weird in the poster, but maybe you guys are going to make it work in the trailer. And I have to say, having seen it now in the teaser trailer, it looks just as weird and odd as it did in the poster. And I don't understand, you know, he's not really ridden ants for a very long time in the comic. It's really just a reference to him being small, okay? He goes between small and super big. That's something that's in Ant-Man's bag of tricks. So I don't know why they need to keep the ant aspect. Can't the ant just be referential to him being very small? Does he really need to control ants? I mean, really, I mean, that's just when he meets the rest of the MCU, they're going to have a field day with him because you have so many smart Alex in the MCU. All right, so let's continue. He flies to safety on his wasp. All right, then they're having a conversation here. Now this is the line. I think that's great. And that's where I started to be like, okay, maybe this might work out. And then they show the haha, look, there it is. It was too late to change the name. He's still called Ant-Man. So I see a lot of, you know, it seems very derivative, it seems small, and it seems really, really far-fetched. And, you know, I'm sure some people will say, hey, look, whoever thought a talking tree and a raccoon that shoots a gun, who also talks, would work? But you know what? When we first saw them, they looked pretty cool. When Rocket Raccoon was standing on Groot's shoulders firing that semi-automatic space gun. And I really actually did enjoy those two characters in the actual Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I thought they were really well realized. But they came out of the gate literally firing. But here, I think this is holding too much back. As I said, there's really nothing to see. So I'm curious, what do you think of this? Are you like, hey, you know what, it's Marvel, I trust in them no matter what, you're just being negative, Grace? Or do you watch this and you go, I'm concerned, but I'm gonna wait and see. Or maybe, hey, maybe you love it and you did find something to like out of this trailer. And, you know, maybe tell us what you found that you liked out of the trailer and how many times you had to watch it to find what that was. All right, thank you so much for tuning into my trailer review. Let's hope the next trailer for this is better and you can check out some more episodes right now.